And Houston was almost I won't say an afterthought, but it was something that sort of came on the run, wasn't it? It wasn't something that they, could then go again in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. And look, it's a tight cap. They've backed themselves in for another tilt at it next year with an experienced group. You can always, it's the band process, the build around Nick Dacos. Here you go. Oh,
that's a pointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can make of that what you will.
Can we play that one again, if that's all right?
Oh, there's a bit of yeah. There's some aggression in that. In terms of,
this is where our body language reading comes into play. It might be a reference to, I told you to throw up a player.
That doesn't look like a deal that's getting done.
Does
imminently, does it?
And again, there's still 11 minutes remaining, but from what we are reading body language-wise, and Jared Ruffhead, they're clearly aware the cameras are on, and Tom Petrucci forgetting the cameras are on, and reminding them that they are indeed on, and we'll now cut away from that. But there was a little bit to, I think, read into that, given there are now only 11 minutes left.
It doesn't look like it's going to get signed in the next minute, does it? That's not to say, here we go, this is the start of it again. It's Rob McCartney, the footy boss, at the other end of that. Mark McKenzie watching on. Jared Ruffhead as well.
That's a...
The pictures say enough. So the Bombers now have 11 minutes, 10 minutes and 30 seconds to make a decision on the future of their captain. And it's coming down to these final moments, as it was always probably going to, as soon as he met with Hawthorn about a month ago.
Yeah.
I think to me, that room looks like, what more can we give? That looks like the message, doesn't it?
It does. And again, I jokingly say we become body language experts on this day, but there's a little bit to read in body language in that moment there. And I can speculate that it might well be, I told you to throw up a play, because that's what Essendon wanted from the very outset if they were to get serious with it. But again, there's 10 minutes remaining, and what we do on this show is we show you the vision, we'll give you our opinions and our assessments, and you can make up your own minds as you watch and listen to what we do on Trade Radio.
Sydney room here. They've just nearly gone into the St Kilda room. I can't imagine that would have been a...
That might be busy at the moment anyway. They could have walked in on Andrew Mackie and Stephen Silvani.
You're talking about the Carlton people, just for those listening and not watching. They were about to burst into the St Kilda room, which might have been interesting. But
so there's some more live pictures of Tom Petrucci looking a little bit resigned, to be honest, as things stand there. Jared Ruffhead doesn't seem like he's too enthused about the prospect of a deal eventuating in the next 10 minutes either.
He can often choose to look that way when he knows cameras are on him, Ruffy. So, yeah, it's again, all we can do is bring you the pictures and bring you the news. And this is now the one going back into the Carlton room. That's their room, not the one that they just entered.
Is in Sydney's room as things stand, trying to hash out the final parts of a deal. And you wonder if that eventually goes ahead now. As I've been saying for the best part of the last half an hour, I think there's been confidence that that'll get done. And in turn, I think Carlton's probably negotiating 2 deals on the run here, because in turn it probably is what it looks like in terms of a Buku Khamis trade afterwards. So they're saying this is what we can get holistically as part of the deal, as opposed to here is just the Charlie Curnow trade, or here is just the Buku Khamis trade.
I'm just having a look here at something I've received.
What have you got, Damo?
Come on, Damo.
Well, I can only assume that this is allowed to be read out, because...
Everyone knows you're on air.
I can't imagine why Tom Petrucci is texting me this right now. That's me telling Rob to tell Essendon. They did ask for 4 firsts and a future second, I think, is what it's being relayed here. So, look, I don't know whether I was meant to read... Well, Tom Petrucci sent me that, so he knows I'm on air right now, and he's telling me that Essendon may have been asking for more than what was actually offered. So I'll let him relay that. Probably the way he wants to do it.
What was the deal you put forward before, Cal?
So their final offer, this was about half an hour ago, was pick 10, pick 22, a future first-round pick, and Henry Huswaite for Zach Merrett and a future third-round pick. So far, the Bombers have not budged on that position.
Yeah, well, that's
8 minutes to go.
It didn't look like they were budging from that vision that we were seeing before.
No, well, I think it was a message to Rob McCartney to tell Essendon to go and do something after they may have asked for 4 firsts and a future second. So I'll let Tom obviously
Dave
explain.
Trotter's looking very happy there. You'd think that hopefully going into the Saints room, that might be some movement on the Rowan Marshall deal. A bit of a smile on Dave Trotter's face there. So we're hoping, for Rowan Marshall's sake, having requested the trade out of St Kilda, that he does get to Geelong.
Fascinating to see how Geelong have added to what they originally put forward, that pick 19, and what they've done to make sure that they're still in the conversation with 7 minutes to go, because something must have enhanced it to the point where they're satisfied to at least be in the conversation.
Carlton now walking back to its room.
Geelong have tabled pick 19 and a future second-round pick for Rowan Marshall. So that is pick 19 this year and a future second-round pick for next year for Rowan Marshall. So that is the upgrade. That's an extra future second pick on top of the table, on top of the offer from...
You're talking about the Reds there, Cal, top of the table. There we go. That's my one.
So we'll wait for the 6 minutes to elapse now before we do the dissection on the Merrett situation. But there is a lot to take out of it if it goes the way that body language suggested and that text message from Tom himself suggested. But remaining 6 minutes to go, stranger things have happened with 6 minutes remaining of a dead line. So let's see what that happens inside that time space. And as we do park that one for the moment, we've still got the Rowan Marshall situation and the Charlie Curnow situation, and as we've all said during the course of the last 2 or 3 hours, there are other players connected to the Curnow deal who are eagerly awaiting the outcome as much as he is.
The Swans are on the move. So Chris Keane, their list manager, Leon Cameron, their football boss, as part of the entourage, on the move there. And the Blues are on the move as well. And we also just saw Robbie
Going to meet in the middle here, I reckon.
There's a clash of clans coming up here, but they're all on the move together. Is this...
Well, I wonder now if it's too late for the Zooms to actually get started. So if a deal is being eventuated, is it being eventuated in the trade room as things stand? That's what I think could be happening. I think now we've reached the point of no return with the Zooms. So we'll just wait and see there.
And as you've been reminding people, Rolls, for some time, is Will Hayward attached to this Charlie Curnow outcome as well, who is a very big name in his own right, and he will be part of what we expect to now be revealed inside the remaining 4 minutes of the 2025 trade period. As we go back to the Hawthorn room, Jared Rufford's still sitting there with Tom Petro, both working phones in the seemingly... minor hope that something may be revisited in that room, that being the Essendon room, the ultimate controllers from the outset of where Zach Merrett does end up by 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, no movement either on the Calamar Chee deal.
So they're getting this hashed out in the Carlton room now. They're going back and saying, this is what we got, this is what we can do. Handshakes all around there.
So a shaking of hands. So again, the body language kicks in, and we can read a little bit of that, can't we?
Absolutely, we can. No offer yet has been accepted on the Calamar Chee deal either, so we're down to the last 4 minutes of that period. No movement as yet. Remember, the future second and future third are on the table.
And just on that, and as we allow these clubs to use the final 4 minutes to do whatever it is they feel the need to do inside that time frame, the Calamar Chee situation could see him go to the pre-season draft?
Yeah, that's the other option. Yep, they put a price on his head and he'll get there. This is fascinating. This is a huge hybrid.
And there we go. It's done.
Deal done.
There we go.
Well, it's a shake of hands.
That to me looks like a deal done, Damo.
It does look like that, but let's wait for confirmation of it. They've got 3 minutes to get their bodies into the next room. It certainly looks that way as Robbie Durazio comes in as well and is lingering in the
that's done.
The Carlton
that's
rooms.
done, Damo. That is done, 100%. So Charlie Curnow will be a Sydney player in 2026.
It's as big a story as we've had in the trade period when it's all said and done, and the people now walking out down the corridors in the Hawthorn polo shirts. We may as well stay with them, with the camera there, because if they are going to be doing anything before they...
I think they're now... I think the time has come to get... Like the Zooms won't load up in 3 minutes, will they, Cal? So they are trying to get now to the AFL rooms to get a deal done. Mark McKenzie as well, rushing through with Rob McCartney, clearly trying to get something done in that regard as well. But yes, 100% official confirmation. Charlie Curnow has been traded to Sydney. That is what they are doing as things stand.
It's massive news in itself, and yet it's not as big a news as the Zach Merrett situation. With minutes remaining, Mark McKenzie on the move there, maybe for one last throw. He's got 2.5 minutes to do so. I mean, the AFL can often use its own rules and bend them in any way it needs to at any given point in time. I would imagine if a club asked for them maybe for 10 minutes extra, I reckon they'd grant it. And let's see if that actually happens in the next few moments. It wouldn't be the first time that's been requested at this time of a trade period, Kel.
Well, you just have to be in the vicinity of the door, don't you, at this point?
Yeah.
The vicinity of the door.
And the Swans have made sure they've got in there before the close of play, just to make sure we're in there. You can see us in there, and we're about to do this deal.
I don't think the Merrett one's been done. I don't think it's going to happen. So down to 1 minute and 50 seconds.
They're still clearly trying, though. I mean, Tom Petro's there working the phones. Mark McKenzie's on the move, on the phone. It's as dramatic as we've seen. I thought the Gary Ablett year when, again, I believe the deadline either passed or had 1 second to go when he returned from Gold Coast as a contracted player to Geelong was always going to be the most dramatic period of any particular trade period. But this one, I think, has surpassed it. And the drama is still continuing with now 84 seconds remaining on the time frame. The Swans and the Blues just checking the correspondence that they'd agreed to on the official lodgement of paperwork there with Ned Guy of the AFL. They're just cross-referencing whatever it is that's at the back end of those deals and the players involved in it. And
Will Hayward obviously is watching this from
Brazil,
South America somewhere. He's tuning in. I think the time's about
he's in the Amazon.
3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So that one is one to watch.
So it's inside the minute now.
So Essendon has wanted pick 10, 22, a future first for next year and a future first for 2027. Otherwise, I don't think they're doing the deal, which is what I spoke about earlier. I think that's where it has landed. The 4 first rounds picks. So I don't think, unless that's put forward over the next 37 seconds, that one's going to come through.
So we'll just stick with those shots because that's where the action is going to need to be held, that being the AFL room for those watching. And
can we go to a Hawthorn and Essendon shot?
Well, they're going to have to get inside that room.
If that doesn't...
if they were to
that
do
looks
anything.
A forlorn figure at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And there's
in that regard.
There's the Essendon room, and there's less people in that shot than there were an hour ago, aren't there? In the Bombers' perspective, and the official countdown now has it
has a 0
over.
next to it.
So unless special permission had been sought and granted, we're back in the Hawthorn room.
I can also say Cal Archie has not been traded. That one will not go through. Cal Archie will remain a Brisbane player at least for the next 6 weeks and take his chances likely at the pre-season draft.
And again, we're still relying on our own eyes here to decipher what it is we are witnessing inside the Hawthorn room, but there isn't a suggestion of excitement in that room as the timeline has now expired. And unless they're waiting for AFL to give them extra time and getting back into the Essendon rooms itself, it would suggest that has...
No deal.
...fallen through.
No deal.
So no deals for Zach Merrett, no deals for Cal Archie. That's the big news out of today.
And the flow-on effect, and it's a far lesser flow-on effect, but the Buku Khamis deal will probably be part of the...
Just trying to find confirmation of that as we speak.
You said Buku Khamis as well?
Well,
Buku Khamis, as far as I know...
The Sydney transaction
didn't
happen.
So it didn't have time. So the fact that they left it so late...
They gave the other picks away that they were looking for as part of the Charlie Curnow deal. So...
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, he's going to be...
This is no deal for Zach Merrett. Zach Merrett is not going to Hawthorn.
Okay,
so we've got a lot of no deals, which is quite remarkable, which we hardly ever see in a trade period. It brings you back to 2019 with Joe Danaher and Tom Papley and what happened on that occasion. But, yeah, a lot of deals just not going through as things stand. We can see there. What about Rowan Marshall?
What happened there, Kel? Because we lost that in the maelstrom of developments around the Zach Merrett situation as Andrew Mackey now makes his way down.
No deal on Rowan Marshall. No deal on Rowan Marshall.
Well, Tom Petro now shaking the hands of Hawthorn people. He's a matter of if he comes in this particular direction, he'll be fronted with a lot of media.
We've had a lot of deals fall over in the last 10 minutes. It's quite remarkable. I haven't really seen this for quite some time in terms of the amount of deals. Rowan Marshall, Buku Khamis, Cal Archie, Zach Merrett, all off and not happening. I think clubs have wanted to take a Hooblings first approach for quite some time in trade periods, but generally they get done. This year, it is not. Those deals have not been done.
historically they do blink, don't they? At least not refuse to blink on the amount of number of occasions on this particular 2025 trade period.